I'm Olivia. I'm the Southern Yankee Stitcher, and this is my Flosstube number 29. Today, I am just going to talk about StitchCon. I attended StitchCon Weekend B, and I had such a great time. I'm telling you all, it was so good. I'm not sure where to start. I have so much to share with you, but let me just try and start at the beginning. I through Flosstube, I have met a lot of people online, and I know your names. Some of you, I know your faces. Some of you, I watch your videos, and some of you, we just converse through the comments. And there was one lady, her name's Jennifer, and she had been on some Zoom calls with Crystal Rowe, and I was on them also. So we kind of met there. Well, found out, she was going to StitchCon, and she wasn't really going with anyone, and I wasn't going with anyone. So we messaged each other, and I said, "You want to sit together?" And because we were both a little nervous about going. It's our first time going, and we're nervous about meeting people, and there being so many people. That'd be overwhelming. And let me tell you, it was overwhelming, but in a good way. Just the kindness. There was not one rude person that I encountered the whole time I was there. Not at StitchCon or out in town, Sharonville or Cincinnati. Everyone was so kind to me. And so let's see. So we planned that we would meet there. She got there on Wednesday night. I didn't get there till Thursday about 2 o'clock. And registration opened at noon. And they had a welcome ceremony at 7 that evening. Well, like I said, I got there about 2 and had been messaging Jennifer and went on in and checked in, and him and Steph are the ones that check you in. So how great is that? It was Steph who I saw there, and she was so, so welcoming and kind, and talked to me like she knew me. I'm sure maybe I comment on their stuff, and I don't know if they ever watched mine. I would be thrilled if they did. I know we've commented on each other's stuff on Instagram. So, you kind of know a name, and then you're putting a face with it, and then actually meeting the person. It's great. When you check in, you got this bag, which I'm sure you all have seen. A lot of people have been posting those, and you got a notebook in there, and a pen, and your name badge, and your passport with like the schedule and everything that you would need. And you got your chip. You drew out of the bag, got a chip. And that was about it for check-in. And Jennifer had been saving me a place. She was at table 46, so I'll go in and find table 46 and sit down. She had met up with some ladies that call themselves the Remote Stitchers. And from my understanding, they met on a Zoom retreat during COVID and have just stayed in touch. And not all of them go to all the retreats, but they meet up at retreats and do other things together, which is so neat that they live different places all over the country, and but they meet up to stitch because they have that in common. And they were so nice and inclusive to Jennifer and I. I don't know how many times I said, I don't know how you met up with these people when we got at this table, but we scored when we did that because they were so kind. It was Tanya, Polly, Ray, Sue, Roxy, Jennifer, and I at the table. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about those ladies and how good they made me feel anyway. Jennifer had a gift for everybody at the table. Had this box. Her floss drops are on there. And it was full of little goodies and a little poem. And I'm going to read that to you because it's cute. You may have seen, I don't know if she made this up or if she's seen it before. I've never seen it before. It's called the Cross Stitcher Survival Kit. And included is washi tape to remind you to stick with it, Tootsie Rolls to help you roll through your whips, A marble in case someone thinks you have lost yours. Needle threader for when you catch the Flosstube giggles and cannot see through the tears of laughter. Starburst, a burst of energy as new releases are announced. Mounds, always room to add to your stash and life expectancy. Payday, so you'll have money for haul. Pincushion for Tomato Tuesdays. Frog to remind you to smile when you must rip it, rip it, rip it. Seam Ripper is the frog management system. Peppermint Patty, an extra pat on the back for a stitch beautifully finished. Snickers to remind you of all the happy times we shared at StitchCon 2022 Weekend B. Isn't that sweet? That was so nice. And so I got there and got settled at my table, and then I left to go check in at the hotel because I couldn't check in until 3. And I checked in. I had a suite because remember all my family was going to come. Well, it was just me with 2 queen beds and a couch and a chair and a recliner, and I had made it was nice. I know some people. I had to stay at the La Quinta, which is where the late night stitching was. I'll talk about that later. Some people had trouble with their room keys not working, but I didn't have any trouble with anything there. So, you know, I was pleased with my stay. Well, and that night and the next morning, I mean, some people came up to me and said, "I know who you are. You're the Southern Yankee stitcher." Yeah, I'm Olivia. And I was like, I can't believe people know who I am. But I fangirled a lot of people. I didn't get pictures with everyone. There are a couple things I regret, and one of them is not getting enough pictures. Like I saw the Virginia Stitcher. I watch her. I watch all her videos. I didn't get a picture with her. I saw Amy Loves Toes. She is one of my favorites. And I did like meet her and just say hello and I watched her stuff, but I didn't get a picture. Wish I had. I didn't get a picture with Barbara, Keepsakes owner. I wish I'd done that. She's so nice and helpful. And, you know, putting together something that big, I know can be stressful and it can wear you out. I've put together big events. The planning is okay, like the day before, the morning of, if it's something starting that day. I'm not always a nice person. Let me just say, I'm worried something will go wrong, and I'm, barking orders here and there, and it all comes together most of the time, and then I have a good time while it's happening, but those are not my fondest moments. If she had some of those moments, or Pam and Steph did, you never saw them. And I know they had to be exhausted because I was exhausted, and I didn't have to do all the planning. I just had to get there. But Pam said to me, because I said, I know you were so tired. And she said, I can sleep when I'm dead. So that's what I thought. I'm asleep when I'm dead. So I went to late night stitching every night. I didn't stitch every night. I took some things and I'll show you that later. But I was so tired I couldn't stitch. But I got to hang out with some people like Dottie, the Stitching Scotty. And Dottie's lives maybe an hour from me. And I watch her videos. And I don't think she'd ever seen mine, but she's so nice, and I really enjoyed meeting her. That was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna plan to meet up at our LNS, which is I'm not sure how far it is from her. It's about an hour for me, maybe a little less for her. And they have some stitching retreats there, some small ones. They have a small stitching room, and so I'm gonna try and meet up with her and do some stitching. And I was so glad to meet another person from South Carolina, and that was fun. I did do the floss drop exchange, and I waited till Friday evening when everybody was kind of settling in before they started doing door prizes and doing a program. Everybody was just stitching, coming back from dinner. When it looked like it was filling up, I made my rounds, and I finished just before they started. It was perfect timing. I don't know how that happened. And passed out all my floss cards and floss drops. And you know, it didn't have to be a trade. I just gave one to everyone. I had enough there for everybody. And everybody else was the same way. Just take some, take some. We don't care if you have one to exchange. I didn't do the needle minder exchange because I don't use needle minders. Now, I did at the retreat because my setup's a little different at the retreat. I have a magnet in my floss bed or whatever you call that thing. And that was great to have that. I need to work on amending my setup so that I have a needle minder because I lose needles all the time. I have lost needles in my couch that I have never found. And I mean, I sit on the couch all the time, so I figure if it's going to stick somebody, it's going to stick me. But I worry about my grandsons, But they wouldn't squish the cushion as much as me. I think it's way down in. I did find some under the couch that fell all the way through. It's a recliner couch, but I need a needle minder for sure. So I got some of those and some floss and scissor fobs. I'm trying to think what else. Some little charms and things. Marking pins. Counting pins, not marking, counting pins. There are a lot of things that people exchanged, and that was a lot of fun walking around and meeting everybody. And I'm kind of an introvert, and I just handed out my cards. I didn't really work the room like some people would work a room who are more outgoing than I am that way, but I really felt comfortable with everyone. I wasn't nervous about it at all. And normally in a situation like that, I would be a little bit nervous going around to even just to hand something to everybody if you're going to chat with them a little bit. So let me just say, if you plan to go to StitchCon 2023 or you're thinking about it and you're like, well, I have to go by myself, I have to sit by myself, don't let that stop you, because everyone was so friendly. Everyone was so friendly. And there were a lot of people there that came by themselves. And your table, you just kind of form friendships, and you might go to dinner together, you might not. Everybody, you can do your own thing if you want, but if you want to go with a group, you can go with a group. I went with a group, I guess, for most of the meals because, again, I wanted to meet people. I did a lot more socializing than I did stitching. I think a lot of people could say that. I did take my smalls exchange, and I filmed a short video before I left, the night before I left, and I was packing. I babysat all day, and I had no makeup on or anything. But I'm going to insert it here because if I didn't take that video then, it wouldn't have been, you wouldn't have been able to see the small before I gave it away. So let me just insert this right now. And this is the small exchange I gave. And I'm also going to insert a picture of a lady who received it. I can't remember her name right now. And I know her name. I know her name. I can't pull it out of my brain right now. And I even looked at pictures and I was like, oh, her name tag's covered up in every picture because I would have tried to zoom in. I'm sure I would see her face again. I've already seen it, I believe, on Instagram. Either her post or a post from somebody at her table. And so I apologize. Please comment on this and say, hey, I'm the one that got that thing. Because she was so sweet, such a kind lady, and just my brain. It's my brain. So anyway, here's my small exchange. Hi, everybody. I am here on Wednesday evening. Let's see, it's almost 7 o'clock. And tomorrow morning, I head out for StitchCon Weekend B. Before I did that, I wanted to show you the small exchange I prepared. Well, first of all, excuse my appearance. I've been babysitting my grandsons who are 3 and 5 for the last few days. And we got in the pool this morning, and I mean, we had a whole train set up in our living room, and I've been busy. I have no makeup on. I haven't had a shower since I've been in the pool, so just excuse my appearance. But if I didn't do this video now, I wouldn't be able to show it. So I'm going to do it real quick. This is the packaging I picked out. It's one of those boxes with a magnet in it from Hobby Lobby, and it'll be tied up with a blue bow and a little charm on it. And this is my small, which you all have seen somewhat before it was fully finished. You saw the finished product. That light's kind of, let me adjust that light a little bit. Maybe that's better. This is from the, let's see, Summer 2021 Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine, and it was Teresa Miller of Teresa's Primitive Treasures did this chart. I just took out the middle of the chart. I did one for myself, and if you all remember, I wasn't real happy with it. Mine also had the numbers down here, but this one I cut off at the bottom. I kind of liked it without the numbers. So I made some cording with my quarter and vinyl Pfeiffer's video because I have to watch it every time. I'm afraid I'm going to miss a step. I've only made cording, I guess, twice now. I guess once I do it a few more times, it'll stick. I'm going to put a few little bee charms on here, if you can see, and an old antique shell button. And this fabric, it's kind of hard to see. This was a remnant in a little basket at the Walmart cutting counter. I mean, Hobby Lobby cutting counter. And when I first got it, I thought, oh, maybe I can make a project bag out of that because I really like the fabric. Oh, sorry. Turn that ringer off. And, but it wasn't big enough for the type of project bag I was making. But it really inspired the whole piece. I love the colors in here, the grays and blues and yellows. That's my jam right there. So, I did this piece. It's stuffed with sawdust. I hope whoever likes it loves the smell of sawdust. I love the smell of sawdust. Love it. So that's my piece. And then I just kind of went with theme. Now I got to put tissue paper and everything in here. I haven't prettied it up because once I pretty it up, I don't want to mess with it. But I put some local honey in there too. This is from, I work at a high school, and our ag horticulture teacher, FFA leader, all of the above, is a beekeeper at his house. And this is local honey from him. I also put in some candy because I'm sure we're all going to need candy. I found this little tape measure at Cracker Barrel. Now look, the stinger of the bee pulls out. It's a tape measure. And it's crocheted. I just thought that was the cutest thing. I might have one for myself. I just love that. A little plaque. Let's wash it out a bit. For yourself. A bookmark. A ruler. That on both sides there. And then 10 of my floss drops that I made for StitchCon. Put this light on. It really thought it was going to help, and I think it's hurting more than it's helping. So, anyway, I hope whoever gets the small exchange will like what's in here. I'm going to put tied up with that blue cording, and this cording I made is made with this blue cording I had in my stash from I don't know what. And then I used 2 strands of DMC. So it's 12 individual threads. They're 6 each. So it's 12 individual threads plus the cording is what I used to make that trim. So like I said, I hope whoever gets it will like it. I'm going to put a few charms on the outside of bees so they'll know that it is something that has bees in it if you like bees. And while I'm here, so I don't forget again, because I forgot last time to show you some haul. Oh, this isn't the right one. Oh. Well, what did I do with those? Well, I thought they were in this envelope, but they're not. It's the wrong envelope. I got some charts on Stash Unload that were like magazine. I don't know what to do with them now. Probably where I have my mail in the kitchen. Anyway, there were magazine pages that somebody sold at like 75 cents. Stash and loaded some shirts that I liked a lot. So I got a few of those. I'll show you next time. But I also have my all my floss drops, 5 for each person, enough for 300 here in this basket that I'm taking along to give away. And that's about it. I'm gonna kit up some samplers that I'm taking along, and I will show you all that when I get back. And I hope to take some video while I'm there and put it all together to give you all a post StitchCon video. Which that was kind of silly to say that, because if you're watching this, it is the post StitchCon video. Duh. I don't have time to upload this, and I don't want to, because I don't want the person getting the small exchange to see it. So anyway, I'm off early morning. I'm going to leave 4 or 5 as soon as I can get up. It's about 8 hours for me to get there. I know you can check in as early as 12, and I hope to be one of those early arrivers. So I'll see y'all later. Bye. Okay, in return, I got a gift. You know, you were supposed to, if you saw how I wrapped mine, wrap it in a way that would kind of give a little hint as to what the people were receiving. And I spied this one. There were 3 groups for the small exchange. You picked the poker chip when you checked in, red, white, or blue. I was in white. They had a Friday evening exchange, Saturday morning exchange, and a Saturday night. I was a Saturday morning exchange. And the gift I spied was wrapped in this paper. I saved this so you could see it, and it was wrapped up in this kind of bow. So already I was thinking, oh, fall. I love fall. And that chenille, I can reuse that. You better believe I can reuse that. I saved the paper not because I'm going to iron it and reuse it, y'all. I just was going to show you how I knew that I wanted to pick this thing, this gift. I know you know people who save. I have saved wrapping paper and reused it for wrapping paper. But I remember when I had my first child, I was told at my baby shower, which I kind of had a shower after her. She came early, so I didn't have a real shower. It was gifts afterwards. But I was told that you're supposed to line your baby's dresser drawers with your wrapping paper from your shower for good luck. So I did that. Well, I'm not going to be lining any drawers with this, I don't think. I don't know, it's cute paper. But I did want to show you that. And this, I don't know if this is a yarn chenille or if this is like is it Lady Dot chenille? I don't know, but I will use it on the finish. I had seen chenille yarn, in the store, and thought about it, thought, I need like 20 inches, maybe, probably less than that. And then what am I going to do with the rest of the skeiny yarn? So I didn't get it. Well, one lady, when she gave out her floss cards, she had little baggies full of that. She just cut out like a yard of the chenille yarn to give away. And I really don't know how you tell if it's the yarn or if it's the chenille stuff, but it's pretty, and I will use it. I opened the box, and I was hoping it was something I would like. I mean, nobody wants to get something they don't like, but I think it's a great idea that they have you wrap it to give a clue, so that, like, if you don't like Halloween, you don't open Halloween. Or, I don't know if I could say I didn't like. I don't know what. I took some pictures of the exchanges. We put them all back on the table after we opened them, so everybody could see, but I didn't take pictures of all of them. I wish I had. There's some really neat things. All that's going to be at the end of the video. A lot of pictures, and I'll label it so you'll know what it is. But this is the card I got. And The pattern is called the Acorn Basket by the Blue Flower. It's stitched on color and cotton tea leaves with called 4 flosses. And it's by Tara Finnegan, the 805 Stitcher. I've never watched Tara. I mean, there are so many Flosstubers that I want to start watching. She's going to be one of them, for sure. This is what I got. I mean, she did this to try and match this ribbon because of the Keepsakes bags. These are the bags they use at Keepsakes. I mean, how do you think of these things? I couldn't think of that. And then I know you all recognize this blackbird fabric inside. Place for your scissors and then your needles. And it's quilted. Oh my goodness. It's just beautiful. One lady at my table said, "Oh, I know Tara." And actually, I had met Tara. I had met her at the Late Night Stitch. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. It's starting to run together now, but I think we met at the Late Night Stitching room, and I didn't realize she had a Flosstube. That should be the question you ask people at something like this, but I didn't. I don't know why. So then they're like, "You don't know Tara? She makes bags." I said, "No." And then when I saw her, I was like, "Oh yeah, I know Tara. We've been talking." So anyway, needle book. It had some Jelly Bellies, fall mix of Jelly Bellies, and I've eaten almost all of those with the help of my grandsons. These, I think, are stickers. And these little scissors. I did not realize until I got home they're squirrels. I just thought they were pretty scissors. They're squirrels. Oh my gosh. How cute is that? So cute. She's very talented. I scored on that one, let me tell you. I scored. And really, I didn't see anything that was, you'd be disappointed with. There are a lot of pretty things. Let's see. Her second day, my friend Jennifer, who I was sitting with, she brought crowns for all of us to wear at our table. So we put them on and said we were the stitching queens. It was, silly, but it was cute and fun. We had fun with it all day, because that's a conversation starter, wherever you are. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so let me see. I'll show you what I stitched on while I was there. Well, I stitched on this 4 and 20 Blackbirds by Rosewood. Well, I gotta look. Rosewood Manor. I have to look at the name of this every time, Rosewood Manor, because the town where I grew up, there's the home of the first governor of Maryland. And it was right behind the junior high that I attended, and we had redistricting, but my older siblings attended that school, graduated from there. And the name of the home is Rose Hill Manor, and I want to call this Rose Hill Manor every time, and I know that's not what it is. In fact, they have a big chopping block that my mother had, and she donated it to their museum, and they have it in there. Last I checked, it was still on exhibit. But this is my 4 and 20 Blackbirds by Rosewood Manor. And I started stitching on this tree. And you wouldn't think that would be hard, but I was so distracted by everything going on in that room. I stitched and frogged out over and over, just over and over. I kept messing up. and I don't highlight my chart, and watching something like this where you're like 2 stitches this way, 2 this way, 2 that, it was hard. It was hard to do. It really was. And it's on a 36 count, so it's a little bit smaller, and which I've gotten used to working on that count. It's not a big deal, but not in that environment. It did not go well. So then I knew I wanted to start a kit. I wanted to start a pattern that already had kitted up. And then I was planning to kit up some other charts that I had and maybe start them. That didn't happen. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But I did go ahead and get a start on A Quaker Welcome by Lila's Studio. I really like this chart. I'm stitching this on a 32 count. What's it called? Well, Swigart Belfast 32 count. I don't know. The color, it just has numbers. And I'm not sure where I got it, so I don't think that's going to help you much. But I didn't stitch all of this. I stitched this motif, and this brown right here, about half of it. The rest I've done since I've been home. I really like the chart. But, I don't think, I don't know, there's some people that really had some finishes there. And I mistakenly thought that I might finish that 4 and 20 blackbirds. That was never going to happen. Never. If I want to ring the bell, have a finish and ring the bell, I'm going to have to bring something that has about 20 stitches left in it. That's all I'll have to do next year for sure. Then I started on number 5, Prairie Schoolers Santa's 12 Days of Christmas. Number 5, 5 golden rings. I took this, well, so the stitching room closed at 10, so I would leave about 9:30. Go back to my hotel room, put my feet up, relax a little bit, call my husband, that kind of thing. This, let's see. I don't think which night it was. I think it was Saturday night. I left my magnifier in the car. My car wasn't that far from the door to the hotel, but I didn't feel like getting it. So I pulled this out thinking it would be the easiest to see, and all I did was a little bit of back stitching across here and down there. I was just so tired, but if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. I started recording this and I messed something up, so I just started over. I hadn't got far into it, but in it, I think I mentioned Dottie, the Stitching Scotty, that I got to talk to her, and she's a Flosstuber that I enjoy, and she didn't live that far from me. I sat with her at late night stitching every night, and we had such a good time. She's so sweet and funny, and I just really like her a lot. I can't wait to watch more of her videos, but I really can't wait to stitch with her in person. We're going to make that happen since we only live maybe an hour away from each other. Or maybe even next year we could drive there together, because it was the first time at StitchCon for both of us, so it was a lot of fun. But if you haven't watched Dottie Stitching Scotty, she's been stitching a long time, and she does a lot of like seasonal things and a lot of fun things you want to check out. All right, let me look at my little list over here. I guess I'm just have to start with haul. Pardon me while I get a drink. Well, let me tell you. I said the first mistake I made was not taking pictures with everybody I met. The second mistake I made was not spending more time in Keepsakes. I said I was going to ride the stitching bus because I wanted to experience the stitching bus, but I didn't ride it. One of the ladies at our table was driving, and she took 4 of us over, and I went through Keepsakes, but it's the kind of place that you have to go through really slow, or you have to go through multiple times because there's so much to see. And the models were incredible. I just, I was blown away and really overwhelmed. Those kits that I took, I even made notes in them. You only need fabric. You only need this floss, whatever. I carried this along with me. I couldn't do it. There were a lot of people in there, but it wasn't too bad. But that day, it was about 100 degrees. It was in the 90s for sure. I don't know if it reached 100, but it was very hot. And they're just not equipped for that kind of heat there. I know I grew up in Maryland. A lot of people didn't have air conditioning at that time. You were just kind of used to it. You didn't have a lot. You had a couple of those real hot days, but not a lot where you needed it. So I don't know if they had air conditioning in their shop. They had fans going, and but I wish I would have gone back, especially on a cooler day, and maybe would have been less crowded. If I just drove myself, not that anybody made me feel hurried, but I didn't want them to be waiting on me. So I just kind of went through once and picked up some things and went to the cutting table and checked out. But I also saw things in the annex, and I'm going to show you. Let's see. All right. Well, I got someone was handing these out. I don't know who. I mean, the site is from fadneedlework.com. Mary Bowers at Stitch in Blues on Insta and YouTube. So I'll have to check her out. This was one of those that appeared in my chair when I was not at the table, so I didn't get to speak to her. Then there was a freebie table. And there were a lot of magazines. If I had time, I mean, I didn't have time to go through those magazines, but if I had time, I would have checked them out. I grabbed this, the DMC Museum Collection. It's like a flyer. It only has specific motifs from these 3 antique samplers. It doesn't have the whole thing, which I didn't really realize at the time, but that's fine. It's still kind of neat. And then this is pulled out of a magazine. I like that. I try not to get, I didn't want to be greedy, and I didn't go up there until late Friday or early Saturday. So then I felt like what I took, it was okay to go ahead and take whatever I saw. But I'm sure there were a lot of nice stitching patterns in those magazines. Some of them were old, dated, but like that sewing machine right there was from a real old one that was stitched on their shirt. And it's a Sue Hillis, and she has that. That was in the annex. There was a model of that chart. So this is another one came out of the magazine. I thought that was really pretty too. So those were the freebies I got. Then, I said just to myself that I was just going to buy fabric and maybe some silks for the charts that I took. When you see those models in person, you can't help but buy the chart. I mean, they know what they're doing, obviously, because everybody was oohing and ahhing over everything. This is probably, I'm most excited about this. Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I'm expecting our first granddaughter in September, and the nursery is going to be kind of a mauvey pink color with flowers and butterflies. So I love this was striking. This picture does not do it justice. I mean, this is a good picture, but the model's just like, whoa. So I want to stitch this like this for myself. But first, I will stitch it with pinky purple, blue colors, little girl colors. And I think down here, I'll put my granddaughter's initials, maybe her initials and her birth date. Yeah. So I was excited about that because that was on my I did say I wanted to look for a butterfly chart that I could convert to a birth sampler. And it's not really a birth sampler, but I don't need all. I think just the initials would be cute. It's another hello from Liz Matthews, and it's called Token of Fall. This bird, let me tell you, I took some pictures of the model, and they're going to be at the end of this video. I love blue, and man, that bird just did it for me. Then I got this Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick, and it says, I myself am made entirely of flaws, stitched together with good intentions. I like the quote and the chart. I like Kathy Barrick. She does some unusual things. I like it. I'll cover up this. This is a freebie that was on there. Apparently, there were a lot of freebies throughout the shop. Keepsakes. I missed them. I didn't see them. There are a few like the StitchCon logo and some other freebies that you got when you checked in, but they don't really have a picture I can show. Then the Battle Hymn of the Republic, and by Little House Needleworks. I had seen that before and really liked it, so I snatched that up. This is another Kathy Barrick. It says, all of my scattering moments are taken up with my needle. Embroideress, Miss Sarah Hansen, and I'll probably change the name on that. Oops. One of those long stockings. I just thought that was cute. I like that. Then I got one from Luminous Fiber Arts called Boohoo. And again, these, when you saw the models, like that, the orange pop, the ruched ribbon around the edge was so neat. I'm not going to do the words when I stitch it, but I have some vintagey looking Halloween decorations. They're not actually vintage because those are really expensive. But I have some vintage looking ones, and one is a cat with his back arched. And my oldest grandson last year, he pointed to it. He said, "A scaredy cat. A scaredy cat." He was scared of the cat in that picture. I don't know why. Somebody must have told him something. But he was scared. I got this. Tellin Emblem by Chrisanne Tellin. I haven't heard of her before, but she had a trunk show there in the annex. And this little sampler I really liked. It's called the Scissor Sampler. I saw this at Market, people showing that. So when I saw it in the annex, it was mine. This is called Sir Dandy. It's an original design by Hands to Work. I think I've heard of Hands to Work before. I don't know that I've seen this Sir Dandy. And, I got a thing for birds. I like birds. But this one is kind of it's one of those bags. I'm not going to be able to get it out very easy. He's kind of a patchwork bird. And again, the model sold me on this one. I love the colors in it. And where it says My Work 2022 in the middle, I'll probably change that and put, I don't know what I'll put in there. I have to think about that. Oh, another freebie, and this was, I believe somebody at our table brought these. My friend Jennifer, the fifth daughter, had this stitched. She had it on the brag table, and it was awesome. It's Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks, and it's all the kits. And I knew Jennifer had somebody that she wanted to give a set to, so I told her I would stitch it and pass it on to her to give to this friend. She said he really wanted it. But I mean, this was score on that one, right? All in a little bag. Ready to go. Then at Keepsakes, I saw this from Primitive Gatherings. It's called Strawberry Trio. And I have seen a lot of people do show wool piecing, I guess you call it, on their videos and talk about Maggie Bonotomy, and there's some really pretty things. Well, they had this model, along with some others in Keepsakes, and I just decided I had to have it. I want to try it. I don't know how well I'll be at that. I've never tried it before. But like I've seen some fireplace screens like that were to die for, and I thought they would be so pretty in front of a fireplace. But for a first project, I probably shouldn't start with a fireplace screen. I also got some scissors in the annex because, I showed you last time how I got that milk glass candy dish planter, whatever, that has the loops around the edge, and people are holding their scissors in it, making a pink cushion in the middle. Well, I didn't have pretty scissors to put in there, so these are dinky dies. This one pair, it has bees on them. I love my bees. I love the bees. And this pair, those are called Honeybee Yellow. Honeybee Yellow. These are called Blue Snowflake. And I just thought they were so pretty. And then, there was a lady who was at our table, and she, from what I understand, if I'm remembering everything correctly, she retired maybe like 6 months ago. Job. And notifications. Go away, notification. She has started charting some cross stitch, and it's a I've just lost words. whatever you call it when you charge an old piece. Oh my gosh. You remake it. That's not what it's called. And that word, I know you all are screaming at me. I know you're screaming at me right now. It's not coming. Y'all, I babysat. I told you it's Thursday afternoon right now. I babysit my grandsons Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all day. They spent the night last night. And my brain's fried. Reproduction. Reproduction. It's a reproduction sampler. And it's Red Barn samplers. And so I found out about it, and then I purchased this. So, and she has all her contact information on here. I'll check it out. It's, I'm putting up my chart too much, but here's the antique. It's really pretty. And I'm glad I met someone who was charting it like that. I feel like I'm important now. I know somebody that's starting up. Her name's Ray, and she's done a great job with that. I got this fabric. Now, I'm going to start showing you all the fabrics that I have. And I'm not positive about the brands or colors. I don't know if they're still marked because they were cut from a bigger piece and they were very busy in there. But I'm just going to tell you what I know. That's all I can do. I got this color to stitch this on. It's showing. It's got a little more pink in it because the original, well, anyway, this is called Needle Bling Designs Shrekky's Tan. I got it in a 28 count. This is a fairly small chart, and I thought 28 count would be okay for that, but I almost want to try it 1/1 on the 28 count. So many of the ladies at my table were doing these tiny, tiny stitches on these high counts, and I just don't know how they could see it. They all were just using readers, they didn't have all this big magnification stuff like I even used. I don't know, but I think I might try to stitch that over one. I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna try and sort this fabric by the maker. And you all can probably laugh at me because I don't know some of these names I should know. But I only buy fabric online. And okay. All right. First I got Picture This Plus Voodoo. And I think all of these are 32 count. 32 count. I have some Halloween things. I kind of knew like what color family I wanted to buy, but I just didn't have the time or anything to, get on my floss, do a floss drop and all that. I just didn't. I was too overwhelmed by everything at Keepsakes, and it's probably a good idea that I didn't go back for a second trip because my budget would not have liked that. This is Picture This Plus Dapple in 32. That gray. And I'll show you the ones let's see. On this, I'm thinking about stitching this. but without the words. Just the witch, the cat, the tree, the bats. And welcome to Halloween. That's what I'm thinking about for that. Y'all know the CD I got. That's what. Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly. Yeah, that's the one. This piece of, what did I say, it was dapple. I want to do this chart. Go with the blues on the gray. That would really match my house. I mean, I think I told y'all I collect blue willow. I have the exact thing right there. So it would go great in my kitchen with all my blue willow dishes. Then I got sorry, I'm changing on the fly here, so I'm not prepared. WDW. I'm not sure. Weeks Dye Works. Weeks Dye Works. I got a 32 count Weeks Dye Works linen. Oh, it's not showing. It's really. The further back I go, the closer it comes to the color. But it's more of a, well, it's called grasshopper. Maybe you all are familiar with it. And I thought maybe, I would maybe have to do some color changes on this. But I thought maybe that on that. Yeah, I tried the real dark green before when I did the Schoolhouse sampler, and I just couldn't see on that dark green. So this is a maybe. I'm not sure. I'm glad I figured out that Weeks Dye Works because you all really would have been screaming at me. Then I got, this is Weeks Dye Works straw. Let me try and turn this light off. Turn it down. That helps a little bit. There. Let's see if you can see the green better. It's still kind of washed out. But you all probably know what straw looks like. It's really pretty. Weeks Dye Works Cocoa. And parchment. Weeks Dye Works parchment. I don't know how to make that right. This is from Steel City Stitchers. It's a 32 count Lugana. And I guess they just don't have names. This is the first fabric I've gotten from them. But, I mean, that's screaming Halloween or fall. Probably Halloween. Then Fortnite Fabrics. This is Swank. It's really like a parchment-y kind of color. This is a little pink on my monitor. I'm not sure how it's coming through to you guys. This is Fortnite it's called Mind Blowing. And what was so bad is like when you were in line to get your fabric cut, you were right in line right beside the table of all the fabric. So while you're in line, you're grabbing more. And Jennifer was with me when I was getting this cut in the annex, and while I was picking what piece I wanted, she was like, "Want that one? The other half." But this, like I said, it's called Mind Blowing. It's got gray, tan, a little bit of purple even in there, just very faint. It's pretty neat. It's mind blowing. Designer is Forbidden. And this color is called Leaf Pie. Leaf Pile. Looks like leaf pie. That's pretty. Leaf Pile. And then the last one is from Fortnite it's a 15 count Ada called Incredible. And I got this because this is the perfect color for the nursery. And so I'll be doing this on there with some more little girl colors. Like these, I would call it fall colors, orange and yellow. I'm just gonna brighten it up. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do yet. That's a project I've got to work on. The last thing I got, and this is something that blew my mind. Jennifer had started a punch needle, and she was talking to the lady at Keepsakes about how it just eats your floss. You use so much floss when you do punch needle. And she said, well, let me give you a tip. Instead of buying overdrive floss, it'll save you some money. You just buy DMC, and then you use this antiquing spray. And she said, just put down some plastic, pull off the little tags or whatever on the DMC, spread it out a little bit, spray this on, flip it, spray it again, and let it dry. I have a picture in my text messages of what this does to just regular DMC floss. It really looks good. It really looks good. So if you want to have a little more primitive look without, and you're on a budget, which, I'm always looking to save money. It makes me happy when I save money. Even if I have it to spend, I'm happy to save it. So that is antique spray. And I'm sure there are others. We were trying to look to see what it's made of. We were assuming it was like a walnut-based thing, but it doesn't say on there. But they use it there at Keepsakes, so I'm sure it's fine to use. So I think that's it. I'll have pictures at the end with some of my favorites. I saw Gary and Ronnie there. I signed Ronnie's shirt. Didn't get a picture with Ronnie. Saw Gary. I did get a picture with him. We were in line waiting for, these were in the bottom of the bag, for our raffle tickets. And he said, they're green. I'm going to win. But I don't think he won. I didn't either. But some people at our table did, so that was cool. And there was a lady who, she had a previous illness and she passed out the first day. From what I understand, I didn't see this. I don't think I was in the room at the time. And EMS had to come and get her, and she was in the hospital. She wasn't local, and she had to stay in the hospital the whole weekend. And one of the door prizes was that you got your registration fee refunded. And when they drew her number. She'd given her tickets. Somehow they got her tickets to somebody who said, I will hold these, and if you win, I'll let you know. And she won that thing to get her registration fee refunded. And I thought that was just really cool. I think that's about it, y'all. There was I first thought it was Comic-Con, but it was an anime convention upstairs from us in another conference center. And some of the people came down and wanted to see what was going on. And I have pictures of one girl who was there. She had made her coat and everything she was wearing. And some of them, I'm sure, bought their costumes. Some of them made them, and they were pretty extravagant. I didn't get a lot of pictures of the people, but I know other people did. And, Barbara commented and said, we think they're weird, but they think we're weird too. We're weird about our cross stitch, and they're weird about their anime. So, but they were all really nice too. Like I said, not one rude person the whole trip. It was great. It was great. So I'm going to try and edit this, y'all, and get it together. It may be a couple days. I have a lot of editing to do and pictures to upload and to try and put this together, but I wanted to record it. while I had a minute and where I wasn't babysitting, and I had a little bit of sunlight. So I will see you again in another week or two. I have some projects I'm working on, and I hope that I can get it far enough along with the project where I can share it with you. It's something that's been going on in my head for probably 6 months, but has just been going on with my needle for just a couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that, showing you that. It's nothing, it's not a chart or anything. It's just a neat way of finishing something that's a little unusual. So be looking for that. And I hope you all are enjoying your summer, and I hope you have some time off like I do and are able to spend it with your family. I'm really enjoying my grandsons. We have been in the pool. I found the perfect day when I'm babysitting them. They come to eat breakfast because the afternoon sun is so strong. It's just so hot. We swim in the morning, so we get in the pool between 9:30 and 10, swim for an hour or two, then get out, give them a bath, give them some lunch. They're wore out, and they take a nice long nap. So that's what we've been doing, and they are, like I said, this summer, one of them's just turned 5. In a couple weeks, the other one will turn 3, and they wear those puddle jumpers. If you have little ones like that don't know how to swim, and they're just learning, it's like, you know, the little swimmies you used to put on your arms. They were inflatable, and they were kind of hard to get on your arm sometimes. These go in like that. They're like foam that's covered in like a nylon. And then there's foam that goes around their chest. So it goes around their chest and on their arms like 2 swimmies, and then buckles in the back. So they can't go on. I mean, I'm not going to say they couldn't drown with it on, because, you know, I get a little paranoid about that stuff. But it would be very hard for them to. And it's given them so much confidence that they go get on the steps and they jump off. The oldest, once he got a pair of goggles, he was holding his nose and jumping off and yelling cannonball. And the youngest one was doing it too, and he didn't even hold his nose. He didn't have goggles either. And he was like, I want to take it off. I want to go underwater. And I thought, I can't let you do that on my watch, buddy. One of your parents is going to have to do that with you, because that makes me really nervous. And my daughter said, no wonder we were scared. I was scared to swim. You probably made me scared, and I probably did, because they could read my face, you know, and knew that I was scared. My mom had me scared of the water too. I wasn't a good swimmer at all, not at all. But so check out puddle jumpers if you have some little ones, and you know, you have a pool. Of course, we keep ours locked up when when we're not out there with them. But those things are, you know, they jump, he's going all the way to the bottom. It's an above ground pool that's about, I think it's 30, no, 40, I don't know, maybe 4 feet deep, something. But he'll go all the way to the bottom and pop. They just pop right back up. So well worth the investment. We're using them. This is the 2nd year they've been using them now. They're that good. Okay, y'all enjoy your pool. Enjoy the summer, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.